Route 53 is a really powerful DNS service offered by AWS. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to buy a domain from a third-party domain provider and connect it to Route 53 so that you can start routing traffic to your services in AWS using Route 53. Route 53 is really powerful, and there's a long list of features and different types of routing that you can use it for, but we're just going to focus on creating a simple route today for a custom domain name. So if we log into AWS and head over to Route 53, you'll be able to see this thing called hosted zones. And if you don't have any hosted zones set up yet, then you won't see anything here. I have one set up for a custom domain. And a hosted zone is how you manage a single domain name. In this case, I have smw.wtf. So to start using Route 53, we have to create a hosted zone, and each hosted zone costs about 50 cents a month. Even if you're on the free tier, this will still cost you that 50 cents. Then here we specify the domain name and we can give it a description and other things like that. And we can purchase the domain name through AWS. But I find that purchasing through AWS is a little bit more expensive and more limiting. So we can't get domain names like .xyz, which are much cheaper. So what I like to do is use something like Namecheap and buy my domain from here. So maybe I'd want to buy the domain name for my name so I could look up Sam Meech-Ward. I haven't actually done this in a while. And let's see what the cheapest domain name I can get is. Okay, so I can get sammeechward.xyz for $1.11 Canadian per year. So it's really cheap to buy through something like Namecheap. And I'm going to show you how to connect this to Route 53. But the concepts that we'll go through will apply to any domain name provider that you use. So you could be using something like GoDaddy or any other popular domain name provider. So I'm going to buy this domain name right now and check out. And I already have a Namecheap account, so I was already logged in. But if you don't have an account, just go and sign up once you come to this site, and then you follow the steps to just buy any domain name that you want. So I'm going to confirm this order here. It's just a really easy process. So I have to check out with PayPal. Hopefully this doesn't take too long. So I've now purchased the domain. Yay, that was easy. So now I need to go and manage this domain. So I'm just going to click this manage button here. Whichever site you use to buy your domain name, you'll have to navigate to the domain name settings or management page, because what you're looking for is the name server section. And right now, the domain name is using the Namecheap basic DNS servers, but we need to set up custom DNS here, because what we're going to do is point this domain name at AWS's name servers. And that means that anytime anyone goes to your domain name, in this case, sammeechward.xyz, the end location where they actually end up on the internet is going to be determined by AWS. So we need to enter AWS's name servers in here. And before we can do that, we actually need to create that hosted zone on AWS. So right here, I'm in Route 53 hosted zones, create hosted zone. And the domain name that I want to create the hosted zone for is sammeechward.xyz, that domain name that I just purchased from Namecheap. This is going to be a public hosted zone because I want people to access this over the public internet, and that's all I need to put in here, and then click create hosted zone. This should only take a second, and I now have that hosted zone. And the first record at the top here, the NS record, has a list of the name servers at AWS that we need to input into Namecheap to get this all working. So I'm going to copy these one by one and go back over to Namecheap and enter these into the name server section. So that's name server 1. And the order doesn't matter here. We just need to get all 4 of them in. And you want to keep the dots on the end. Unless for some providers that doesn't work, then you can take the dots off if it fails. But just copy every single line individually and input them in here. And then in Namecheap, I have to click this little checkbox here to make sure that it actually saves that. And once this is done saving, that connection is complete. I now have purchased this domain name very cheap, around $1, and it is now connected to this Route 53 hosted zone. Now, for this change to propagate through all the name servers in the world, it can take around 24 hours, I think. So after you've done this step, you kind of need to wait a day until you can actually use any of the Route 53 services. You can still set up records in here, but they're just probably not going to work until the next day. But I'll show you quickly how to create a simple record to point to a EC2 instance. So right now I have an EC2 instance set up on my account that is hosting a web server, and the IP address of that is what I need. So when we set up EC2 instances, we usually can see the public IPv4 address, and I have that right here. So I'm going to copy this, because usually this is how we'd access our web servers on the EC2 instance until we have a domain name set up. But if we copy that IP address and go back over to Route 53, I can click this Create Record button, and it will take us to the Quick Create page, which is really good for creating a basic record. But what I actually want to do is switch to the wizard view, because this shows us all the different options here. So there's a bunch of different routing policies we can choose from, and these are all really, really powerful, really handy to use, especially as we scale up our applications. In the beginning though, a simple routing policy is absolutely fine. It's exactly what we need. So I'm going to click next here and define a simple record. And here I'm going to specify the subdomain, and since I'm probably going to use this for a bunch of different services in AWS, I am going to specify different subdomains for each one. So in order to visit this record, it would be demo1.sammeech-ward.xyz. I'm not going to get too much into DNS, but an A route is all I need for this. And then I get to choose an endpoint, and I could choose an IP address to something like an EC2 instance. But there's a long list here of things that I can select from. So for example, if I wanted to set up a domain name for an S3 bucket that's hosting a website, I can do that. I could do the same for a CloudFront distribution or an application load balancer. So this makes it really easy to set up a domain name for a bunch of different AWS services. Right now, I'm just going to choose IP address for an EC2 instance that I have set up that is hosting a web server right now. So all I need is that public IPv4 address. So I can copy that and put this straight into here. Just copy and paste it like that. And then click Define Simple Record and Create Records. So all of these DNS things take a little bit of time, but if you set up your domain name, wait a day, then set up a record, wait, like I said, around half an hour to an hour, and then try visiting the domain name. So in this case, it would be demo1.sammeech-ward.xyz, then you should be able to see whichever service you've connected this to.